Mm,
You're gonna need one of those clocks that it goes like
3,
down,
2,
yeah,
3,
it's
1.
not
10, 9, 8, something like that.
And I
Or
think
the
we're live.
bell. Dun,
We're
There's
dun,
one of those
live.
dun.
clocks that it
We're
goes.
live. We're live. We're
good
live.
life, good life.
Good
Good
morning, good morning,
morning.
good
Good
morning.
morning.
Morning,
Happy
everyone.
Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yes, good
Yes, yes,
morning.
yes, yes. We're
It's
live.
Monday.
Monday,
It's Monday and the
Monday,
body knows
Monday.
it.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes.
Happy Monday.
Yeah. Happy Monday.
We're ready to start the
Ready.
week.
Everybody had a great weekend.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes. It was a good
yes.
Oh,
weekend.
yes.
What's
Yes.
the
Always
Very
highlight for the weekend?
productive.
productive.
Awesome weekend.
What was a highlight for anybody here? Like I can tell you, I worked. So
Work
hopefully
till
you guys go see
Saturday.
Nona. We worked on the weekend there. We missed Norma and I. We're putting together the office. So it looked fantastic. I hope you guys like it.
Awesome.
That's
Gotta stop
awesome.
by.
So,
I will bring some pumpkins today.
oh,
Pumpkins.
thank you.
Ice it out.
Next
Gonna
time
look
it's not-
We're decorating, making sure the office looks fantastic for all of you guys. So
That's
Always good.
awesome.
enjoy it.
You guys always do a good job, so.
Thank you. You better
Awesome.
say that, Jorge.
All right, all right. So welcome everyone. Welcome to Mindset Monday. Today's September 15th. We're halfway through the month already. Shoot, I mean, feels like we're
Wow.
more than halfway through the year already. And next thing you know, it's gonna be 2026. Wow, it's crazy.
Believe it or
Yes.
not.
Time is flying.
Yep.
So
Yes, it
hope
is.
everyone had a great weekend. Right before we get started with Mindset Monday, we first want to thank well, let Priscilla say her announcements because I know she has some announcements. She has some things that she wants to mention to everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Super
morning.
excited because there's a lot of great things coming up. Glad events that we're putting together for you guys. Want to remind you that we had an expo 2 weeks ago, a real estate expo at La Rosa Realty premiere, and it was an amazing success.
Yes.
So we copied and pasted this now, bring it into Nona. So I'm
Oh,
going to be
nice.
sharing you guys the link. This is what it's an expo. It's for you guys to come and be able to connect to local vendors, be able to have their information. I see that a lot in the chat where we're always looking for a painter, looking for a roofer, a pool guy. So now we're going to bring everyone into the office. So again, this is a huge event they're putting together. We're going to have food, we're going to have drinking music, just like Nona style.
Yes.
And also it's going to be our grand
And good vibes.
launch for FPG Title. So if you guys know,
Yes.
Family Passion Grow, a title company owned by La Rosa. So we're gonna have a through amazing party. This is for everyone. So once we share the link on the chat, please feel free to share with anyone out there. It doesn't have to be a La Rosa agent. This is open for all. So
Everyone,
you guys to
everyone is
see
welcome.
this oncoming, not this Thursday, the following Thursday, which is the 25th at 11 a.m. So that's my update for the week, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Woohoo.
Any other
Nice.
updates, Cheryl? Anything? Any updates? Anything else that we need? That we need to, urgent matters?
No, I just I know that Mr. Chris was not able to come today, but he's watching us via YouTube. I just wanna hope that everything is well with his dad, and we're gonna have you soon. Thank you, Chris. I know you're supporting us via YouTube.
Thank you so much, man.
We'll be praying for his dad.
Yes, we'll be praying.
Yes.
We are. Amen.
Amen, amen. So, all right, so let's go right into this one. Let's get into this Mindset Monday. Today's
Let's
topic
do this.
is standard over circumstances, leading your week with excellence. Now, the reason why I want to go into this one is because the thing is that, you know, a lot of agents, sometimes a lot of us, most of us, we all deal with struggles, distractions, you know, shifting markets, all of those things happen to all of us in this business. But the thing is that we have to understand that the results are never controlled by our circumstances. They are fully determined by the standards that we set for ourselves. So we have to understand the importance of setting standards. It's like a routine, a standard.
Right.
Because when your standards are high, your actions rise to meet it. That's the biggest thing. Is if you got low standards, you're gonna have low results. If you have high standards, you're definitely gonna have higher results. It's super important. So today there's four things that we want to, for the four main points that we're gonna be discussing today that all of us, I want everyone to chime in regards to those points, is going to be: one, your standard defines your ceiling. Number two, the standards drive consistency. Number three, don't let circumstances lower your bar. And that's a big one right there. That is a huge one because we play the victim role right there in that one. And then number four is raising your standard raises your influence. These are the four main topics that we're going to talk about. So let's jump right into that first one, which is your standard defines your ceiling. So if you accept average, you are going to get average. If you accept higher standards, then it's limitless the possibility that we can achieve. That is something huge there. So I want someone to chime in and see what are some of the things that we can do, that we can set high standards for ourselves. Because remember, our standards define our ceiling. So that's something that we must have, like a standard that it's something that it's limitless pretty much.
I believe creating a routine is such an
Yes.
important thing. Creating a routine and stick to it, and we can start with one thing at a time. I'm huge on small actions. So for instance, for you guys to be here at 8 a.m., get up, for us to be able to be camera ready, believe me, did I have
Yes.
want to be like full makeup at 7:30 in the morning?
You
No,
always
I'd rather be
beautiful.
on my pajamas and my coffee. But I set a high standard. I'm like, I have to be camera ready every Monday at 8 a.m. So the little actions and the little actions that you follow through, that's what is going to get you to the big result. I see a lot of times where people say, okay, another example is like, I want to lose 30 pounds by next month. Well, okay, so if you put yourself in super high standard, can you really make that goal? Can you do like a daily
Right.
basis action to be able to get there? What is it that's going to take you there? How I have a standard myself on my weight. If I go above certain pounds, I'm like, okay, wait, that's I gotta lose it. I gotta work out. I gotta start, eating junk food. What is it I need to do to get back to my standards? Everybody has their own.
Correct.
I
It-
want to add to that too.
back to the routine. That is, if it wasn't for me having a set routine, and for me, I have to put it in the calendar. It might sound 10 minutes for that, sometimes 30 minutes for that, some things. But I have it like my 8 o'clock, 10. I have all that really predetermined. Now, I might not meet it every day, but it gets my day going in the right tempo by doing that first thing there. And that's the secret that is the standard. I have to do my routine and my day will fall in place. And sometimes I get out of that, I might go at 11 o'clock, go to an early lunch. Somebody calls me and it sounds good. It's a good prospecting, possibly a good opportunity to make some money. But it throws my afternoon off.
It
So
is.
for the
It's true.
standards, you got to keep that schedule.
That's
And
so.
I think, go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ori. Go ahead. You go ahead.
No,
Go
no.
ahead.
I mean, piggyback from what Eric and Priscilla says. Yes, everything for us, I think it is routine is so important. Especially like she said. I mean, is the time blocking. I mean, she is big on that, and I'm learning from you, Priscilla, about that because actually it's something that I struggle with
Yeah.
myself, especially when I work by myself for so many years. You work all over. I do have a goal and I know how to reach it, but I think it will be better if I set it up a routine, time blocking. And like you said, Caesar, the standards and the ceiling, it will be raised higher and higher if we actually manage it and put everything in order. And
All right.
I think for us will be, I mean, for me, practically is becoming more productive.
That is so
doing
true. I like what you said there because the thing is that we have to kind of first understand what exactly is that we want. What is
Mhm.
it the person that we want to be? What is that agent? Or you want to be a top agent? Okay, so if you want to be a top agent, are we doing activities of a low level agent? Are we doing activities of a high level agent? What is exactly that what we're doing, and what is that standard that you need to understand to be able to produce to have the results of that type of agent or the person that you want to become? That is something that you have to evaluate that way to understand the standard you must set. If you have to create a routine for yourself to wake up in the morning or whatever the case is, to like what Eric was saying, you have a specific routine that you are okay, I need to wake up by a certain time because I have to do these things by this time. That's the standard that you're setting for yourself. Because if you don't follow that standard, then it just throws off your day, just the way Eric mentioned it. So it's just understanding first who
Correct.
exactly you want to be, or what agent you want to be, or what level you want to be at. That way, then you can establish the standards for those levels. Because if not, then if you never evaluate it, never think about it, or you just continue doing your normal stuff every day, you're really not setting that standard for yourself, or really trying to figure out the standard that you need to have to be able to meet whatever goal you want to meet.
I'll throw
Makes
in
a
one
lot
more
of
in there.
sense.
For me, it all starts with tomorrow, today. Believe me, I sit there at 7 o'clock, sometimes 8 o'clock, whenever it is. I go to bed early at 9, get up at 5. But I go and I look. I look at the calendar, what's on tap for tomorrow. Instead of waking up at 5 and what am I doing today? No, that is in fact, that's the highest standard I can set for myself, is to go ahead that night, make sure that I know what's happening tomorrow. And that almost not guarantees, but man, it puts me on the right footing to have a good day.
Plan ahead.
That's
Yes.
good.
And ahead,
Right,
tomorrow,
yeah.
today.
Wanda, you
Laser
have your
focus.
hand up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, I just want to add to that, it's all that you guys have said, it comes to discipline, and then, have that standard, what we want. For me is like by, getting ready myself. I have to fill my cup first in order for me to pour into
Yes.
work or into something else. So for me is that routine that I have to set myself up, get early up and set myself to the standards that I want, prepare myself, and then so I can go and pour that out.
Yeah, you need to know what you want and write it down, guys. Put a note. This is who I am.
Definitely.
This is where I want to be. This is,
Yeah.
and then from there we go to the steps that need to be followed in order to make that happen. Cheryl.
Something I struggle, but I'm working and it's working for me is on the distraction, because I set my schedule, but sometimes I have a lot of distraction and it doesn't allow me to complete some of my tasks.
Those
So
little distractions, your little ones.
that little distraction. But and it's not only I'm not only talking about real estate, because for example the example that Priscilla was saying, that you want to lose some weight as well. I don't know why, but the time that you say that you want to lose weight, that day that
Yes.
everybody have a party and they invite you to have a delicious meal, and wow, it's so hard.
I
It's
know.
and it's hard. It's more about like self-discipline, and that's what
Yes.
I'm working on, and just to train yourself first. So, for example, if you know that Caesar and Magda is gonna have their special rice and beans at home, just eat something healthy so you're not that hungry, so you eat less. And with real estate, and like for example, Eric was saying that somebody calls you that they want to see a property, but you haven't finished calling, or you said that you're gonna call 10 people that day, but you only call 5. So next day, or you're gonna set to call 15, the ones that you didn't call the day before, or when you get back, or when you're in the middle of something, you need to make those calls. So don't let
Yes.
any distraction to get you out of your goal. Look at how you say when the horses, they have something like this.
Ajá, la
Right.
gringola.
Spats, I think.
Time block. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So just be like that, laser focus, that you say, I'm gonna get this tag, because oh my God, it feels so good
Good example.
when you complete those tags. And for me, something that is working for me, no, it doesn't work for everybody. I like to treat myself with something. At least to go to Macy's and get me a nice shirt because
There you
I
go.
something. And Something that
Yeah.
for me, it feels good when I get there. I need that. I need that. But O'Neill, my husband, hey, Sherry, you cannot go to Macy's every day. So, but something that it doesn't have to be like that. It could be like 10 minutes to watch my TV. I don't watch TV at all. I don't have time, of course, but at least something that can distract myself and get back. I love also, and the third one and the last one I promise is to reconnect. Sometimes when you call too many people one day, because for example, you said that you need to call 10 and you were not able to call 10, and the next day you're gonna call 20 or 30 people. Sometimes you need to disconnect to reconnect because people is gonna feel that on the phone. So don't call just to call. Just call with purpose. And if you're not
There you
feeling
go.
it,
It's good.
just disconnect for 10 minutes, I mean, and then go back and do it. Just our
Well,
mind.
It's amazing.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Cheryl, because it pulls us right into the next point, which is standards drive consistency. I mean, we've talked about routines, we've talked about all that. Everybody keeps mentioning routine, 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 but that's what the routine proves what you really expect of yourself. That's something that is so important there. And when your standards are non-negotiable, we have to make our standards non-negotiable. That way, we don't get drifted off. We don't get drifted off by distractions and this and this and the third over there, because we're going to have plenty of distractions. So it's so important that as we're setting that standard, that we accept that we're not going to accept an average standard. We're not going to accept that. Now we have to make sure that we are using that standard to drive our consistency, because that's where most of us fall apart at, is the consistency.
Mhm.
We may do it once, twice, 3 times during the week, but then on the fourth, fifth, we get distracted, or we don't want to do it. We don't feel like doing it. But that's where the whole thing of understanding really the purpose of why you're doing this is so important to have. We've talked about this many different times in the Mindset Mondays, understanding your purpose, because when you don't want to do it in those moments, that's when you really got to think about, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then, of course, you have the standard that you can fall on, which is a routine. That way, then you can basically, it's easy to fall back in, and you don't feel as if, oh, what am I going to do now? No. I have a routine. I wrote down my routine. I wrote down what I'm supposed to do, what I'm supposed to be doing on a daily basis, or whatever the case is, that meets the standards that I want to be at, of the person that I want to be, or want to become, or agent I want to be, or whatever the case is. But that is so important for us to have that standard and the purpose of why we're doing it, so we can drive that consistency. So I know Priscilla had her hand up, and then
Bless you. Bless you.
Yeah. So in that, I know it's so hard to stay motivated in this business if you don't have, otherwise we would have to have a Mindset Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every single day to be able to do those fucking stuff. For me, where when I'm getting, like you said, like getting 20, 30 calls a day, and you get to that point where you feel like, oh my God, did I really want to finish this up? I love vision boards, and I have my vision board right in front of me in my office. So, and especially if I'm trying to complete a task, that I can look back, look at my vision board, and see my big why. Why I'm doing this, why I'm working so hard, what is my goal. But having it in front of you, I mean, this is an activity that we do in La Rosa for many years, is to be able to sit down and clarify that. But that's the bigger picture. But also I do daily tasks. As Cheryl say, like how many, writing down what's the purpose for that day. And another thing I take from Eric is your Monday starts Sunday. Having you do all your priorities the day before, or what you're trying to accomplish the next day. And then at the end of the night, go back and review that. And if you were able to complete that, like Charles say, I mean, Macy's close at that time, but at least give yourself, a little pat on the back and say, I completed my task today. I was able to complete the 10 points that I had written down. So now let me go ahead and plan my next day. That is being a game changer in my life, to be able to analyze, sit down. And if you get a little distracted, because we all do, on how to get back to it. Okay, wait, I had to make this call. Wait, I got to get this done. Wait, I can't. Let me get off that TikTok for a little bit, because let me tell you, the TikTok, and next thing you know, you're there for 2 hours. So finding the big why, getting your list together, reviewing it the day before, I think that's consistency. They can get you to the next level.
Yeah, no, consistency is number one thing. and just do what you have to do, even if you don't want it, because sometimes we don't want to do it. We just want to stay home. Okay, I want to be with our kids, or I want to do this and that. But if we have something in mind, and we know where we want to go, we got to be clear and just go there. And like we say in the beginning, being focused, like laser focused in what you want to do, because sometimes we wanted to do a lot of things and we don't accomplish what we want. But if we have a big why and we go there every time we want to change our direction, we see, no, I want to accomplish this. This is what I want. It's going to be more difficult for you to go to different direction and lower your standards. So we gotta be focused and just remember from the beginning what we want to accomplish, and it gotta be like a big why in order to do it, because sometimes we don't want to. Yeah, that doesn't matter how many years we are in the industry. Sometimes we are tired and we don't want to keep going, but we gotta keep going. And if we don't have the strength to do it, we gotta find somebody to work with, like accountability, and that is very important. That's why we have this group too, because it's very important to be in community and
Yes.
to call somebody and say, hey, today I don't feel good, I don't want to do anything, and we push you, and somebody, you know, push us too. So it's very important to be in community and just to go ahead and work for what you want, because we have everything ahead of us. So
Yeah.
it's important.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because it brought what came to my brain, what came to mind for me when you were talking, when you were saying that is like, how do we reset when you realize that you're settling for less than what your potential is? Like that's a amazing question that we can ask ourselves. Okay, how do we reset? And this is a perfect example of how to reset. Getting a coach, getting connected with a community, associating yourself with other people that are, you know, really pushing and getting to different levels. Because at the end of the day, when you surround yourself around people that are, you know, growing, that are around people that are progressing, that are pushing, that it's just all motivation. No, I want to say it's just all motivation, but like that they're working, and it's just that it's just basically it pours out of those people. You feel it when someone, when you're working with someone that's like a driver that's, no, we're gonna get there. There's nothing negative. There's nothing that's gonna hold us back from where we need to get. Sometimes those things
Contagious.
motivate us. Those things, I forget the word right now. Sometimes
Contagious.
contagious. There you go. It's contagious when you're around someone that's just grinding, pushing forward no matter what. Nothing's negative. They don't listen to the noise. They don't listen to none of the nonsense going on, because they're just focused on their goal. And we have to understand that sometimes we have to reset our minds, because we're so accustomed of setting low standards, including myself, you know, for not knowing, for not really exposing myself to the information, that for me to understand that, wait a minute, I have a lot of potential, and I'm not tapping into that potential. And that is something that is very important for all of us to kind of realize, that evaluate yourself, have self-reflection moments. That way we can understand where are we lacking in, and where do we feel that we're lacking in. That way we can make changes, set the routine, set things up for us to have success. And not fall on the third point, which is the third point, is don't let circumstances lower your bar.
Yeah.
That one is huge, because sometimes we play the victim role and we blame everybody else, the market, this, the third, the client, everybody and their mother we blame, but except ourselves. Because in the end of the day, we have to take responsibilities for everything that we do. And if we don't take responsibility, that's a huge one. So how does accepting responsibility change this? How does accepting responsibilities of your actions change this standard into the positive way?
I know Erica has his hand
Uh,
up.
Yeah. If I just need to, you went too fast, Cesar, but I'm gonna go back a little bit and come back to that. And back to Cheryl's about going to Macy's. I like to do the same thing for me, but I don't do it at Macy's. I'm not a big shopper. But you know what I do? And this is gonna sound weak. I'll get off my schedule. That's my, today I'm not doing that. And that's really a bad habit. I work all this, I do tomorrow today, but I get off of it. And then sometimes I go 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 days. And this is what you were saying. How do we get back into it? How do we know we get back on the standards? To me, what works is I go back to the fundamentals. Back when I used to play softball, you got to go out there, hit some more ground balls. You need to go back to your footing, your fundamentals. You got to make your calls. You go, and that takes me back. That puts me back on the horse. But it's hard. This is
It is.
a
The
hard.
accountability planner will help.
We're
I'm
you.
human. I'm human.
We're human.
I'm human. But
Yeah.
man, I got it. To me, it takes me back to the fundamentals, and this group here has meant a lot to me. This has made me accountable. Not that I get up early, but man, and I don't have to really work on my makeup, my man. Well, at least I don't think so. I don't
So
know.
much easier.
I won't share my secrets. But what I mean, this is really good. This is really good. That Monday morning at 8 a.m., my hat's off to you guys. This is how we do it.
Wow.
This is
And
how it's done.
Yes.
That's the idea. That's the idea behind it. We set a standard that we were gonna pour into everyone that we could. We didn't know how this was gonna turn out. We didn't know how it was gonna be. All of us are sometimes completely out of our comfort zone, but we're still here. And that's the point of all this, that we push ourselves, and having the group allows us to push ourselves and not fall into the excuses. And then we play the victim. Oh, we didn't do this because I didn't know how to do that. Oh, I didn't do this call because I didn't want to wake up in the morning. Those are the excuses sometimes that we do, that we allow the circumstances to lower our bar. And that is so important that we, have a group or at least someone that you can fall back on to help you push you. You can push each other. That accountability part is huge, because now we have a responsibility. And look, it's turned out amazing. And there's a lot of things that we still don't know, that we don't know how the certain challenges and certain things that might happen. And it's completely okay, because I'm not claiming to know everything. We have to accept the fact that we don't know anything and we're learning on the way, but you have to push yourself to at least try. Put that standard down and at least try it, so you can see how much you can accomplish by at least trying. And that's a huge part there.
yeah.
And also keep, I sometimes we forget about our health as well. And we start pouring a lot into one area, not so much to the other. So it's good to balance. I just want to put that out there. Balance it out as much as you can. I know, Wanda.
Yes. When you guys talk about, the responsibility, being responsible, take responsibility. We have to own it. We have to, when we don't do something, I think, for me, I said, I'm going to take the shoulda, coulda out of my vocabulary, because at that point, you're not being responsible. At that point, shoulda, coulda doesn't exist. I could get up earlier today, but you didn't. So take responsibility, own it, and then move forward, instead of dwelling and and staying on that emotion, on that down, that I should have, could have, the victim part. And just own it and say, okay, forget about it. I didn't. So let me see what I can do now, at this time. Let me see what I can accomplish.
That's really good. That's really good. Because when you own it, I believe it's like the first step to setting a higher standard.
Yes,
when you take responsibility. If you don't own it or take responsibility for your actions, the one you control, then you're not gonna set those standards. You're not gonna be able to set those standards unless you start owning everything you've gotten to this point.
Oh, sorry. I just want to add to what Wanda was saying, that before I'm gonna talk about me this year. I don't know the market and so, but then I was looking into that to other people that were actually accomplishing what I wanted to accomplish in the same market. So it was like, why you Cheryl, why you keep saying that it's because of this? No, it doesn't matter. It's just look at all the people who are doing it, and be careful who you meet with, because if you say to yourself that you can do it, you can. But if you say that you could do it, you could do it.
Yes.
If
Exactly.
you think that something that you're doing is not working, just switch what you're doing, but not the goal. And try different stuff. What I love about real estate and what we do, that we can be as creative as you want to make
Exactly.
real estate work. And let me give an example. Something that I was like, wow, and that's an example that how creative you can be. I saw a real estate agent who who went to marketplace. Have you ever heard about that? The Facebook has like a marketplace,
Yeah.
and everybody
Yeah.
who was selling like a TV or a mattress or anything like that, that agent was sending them text, hey, if you're selling your mattress because
Oh,
you're moving,
that's
I would
good.
like to help you
Ah,
That's
that's good.
good.
sell your home.
Very good. Very
Give me the
creative.
opportunity to meet you.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a wow factor.
I'm,
That's
I'm
It
gonna
definitely.
is-
write it down.
Wow, write
Very
it down
good.
because I did. By the way, I'm the person that person sent the text, and
Very good.
the first thing I asked, which company you're at? I would love to have your La Rosa. And that person started laughing, but I love it. I think I can share with you the text. It was super simple. It was like, oh, are you planning to sell your home that you're just, because not everybody, a lot of people, they start selling
Feeling.
and exactly.
Yeah.
When
So things or items.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you. So for me, it was smart and it gave me the idea, wow, that's how cool is to be an independent contractor that you can be as creative as you want. So you can use
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. I know, Gabriela, have your hand up. Give me 1 second. That part, it's when you're around people, when you're around the groups and you're around and you have your standard, it's so important because like your mind just you get exposed to so many different things. Look at that. Look at what Cheryl got exposed to. And from that idea, now I can turn into something else, something completely different. But that was really good. Gabriela, you have your hand up?
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh.
So I just want to say thank you. I've been, loving, enjoying a lot of this Zoom today, and it's my first time I can join with you guys. Uh,
Hi, Gabriela.
sharing hi. Yeah, sharing about,
Hi.
going to Macy's and have that stop of, a day where you get tired of what you're doing or you get scared, you want to back up. So I saw Magda yesterday at Macy's when I was doing,
Yeah.
my release.
Yeah.
So, and have somebody just right next to you on your way that give you that push, give you that reflection that you had to go back, you gotta start getting back your schedule. Make me come back this morning to this, and I really like it. And I just want to say thank you to everyone in here, and I hope to put now on my calendar every Monday.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
awesome,
Ina, I want to
Gabriela.
add
It was
that
nice to see you, Gabriela. And
Go
I
ahead,
was
go ahead.
buying shoes.
Thank you.
Too. like
That's
Sherry.
why it's so important, the community. That's why it's so important. Look at that. That's
Yeah.
Yes.
great.
that I went to Macy's and I saw my friend Jorge over there. So we are
Oh, Jorge.
That
Jorge,
was
did you
quite a
buy
while.
shoes
Macy's
also?
is the
What
way.
did you buy, Jorge?
The place.
I mean, to be honest, the market for us, I mean, as a realtor, I think the market is what we make it. I mean, to be honest, if you think about it, I mean, it changes all the time. And what we talk about it before is what matters is just to adapt to it. I mean, look what Cheryl did. I mean, it's like, okay, if it's slow outside, what am I gonna do? Hey, marketplace. Really? I never thought about that. But it's so creative, and I mean, and we
Yes.
can come up with so many ideas, but what it matters is just to adapt. Adapt is not like you said, Cesar, at the beginning. No excuses, zero excuses. I mean, because right now there's a lot of people kicking butt outside. I
Yeah.
mean, in real estate,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's been a great month. The last 2 months. I mean, it is like whoa. I mean, but it doesn't matter. It's just if I continue focusing like in what I'm doing right now, the results are there. I mean, and just like you said, it's just the market is what it is, and we make it for it. Whatever we make it for, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what we have called also called Leadership Fridays, guys. So that's also at 8 a.m. because we're early bird.
Yes.
But that's a great call as well because you learn about the market, you learn about the stacks, you learn about numbers, and it's a push, especially on a Friday, to be able to go out there and make it happen. Because again, like Jorge said, there's agents right now within their offices. They are killing it. They're closing 3-4 deals per month, and if we're not there, we need to check ourselves. See what is it that we need to adjust? What are small actions we can do? We also working on like one that is partnering up with another agent as an accountability partner. You need somebody outside of, we all in the community, but if you're looking for someone that you can hold yourself accountable, make that phone call. At the end of the day, how many calls did you make? What was your goal for the week? Did you accomplish what you say you were going to do? And ask yourself every night, did I give my best today? And just be aware of that some days you have a better day than others. So don't be too hard on yourself either. There will be days that if you don't have something in the calendar, like Eric said, and myself too, we were before the call, we were looking at our calendar to see when we're going to meet. Have it in your calendar, because once you have it in the calendar, Google Calendar is amazing. It reminds you you gotta do this, you block that time, and little things like Gabriela say now she's gonna add this on call on Monday. It's the little small actions that's gonna take you to the bigger picture.
That's true. Those are the ones sometimes that we overlook so much, the little small things. The small things, because we don't think those things are pointing us in the right direction. We don't think, oh, this little small action, how is that going to get me to my bigger goal? But everything compounds. It just compounds right on top of each other, on top of each other. And next thing you know, a year goes by and then you hit your goal. And that's when you're like, you get that emotion. You're super excited to continue pushing you for the next year now and continue moving forward. So it's all great. It's all good. The last point, was point number 4, was raising your standards raises your influence. Because the thing is, we have a perfect example of this right here. We decided, the group, that we're gonna raise our standard and provide and come and do these Mindset Mondays, the evolution, the Friday leadership as well, and also the trainings during the week. We elevated our standard, and with that exposure, now is raised our influence in some way, shape, or form, because of the fact that now when we connect, when we're doing these Mindset Mondays, we have an average of anywhere from 40 to 50 people connecting every single Monday. We've raised our influence because we've raised our standard. We raised our standard. And then on top of that, it brings other people in this group that now are connecting with others, and it just continues expanding and expanding and expanding because we made a decision to raise our standard and take responsibility for our action, the things that we wanted to do. And look at how it's turned out to. We didn't know it was going to turn out like this. And so far, I think it's turned out amazing. And we love to hear when people are saying, wow, this has helped me. This has allowed me to come back to what I need to do. This has pushed me on something I wasn't even thinking about. And that's the whole part about this, because we've said it before. Someone is always watching. Someone is always watching. And if you raise your standard, you're automatically going to start attracting people. You're going to start attracting people. Are going to start looking like, okay, what are they doing? What is that person doing? Because you've raised your standard. We're so accustomed to living at low standards, just the average, just getting by, that when you really stand out, everyone starts seeing it. Everyone starts seeing it.
And believe me, when he said that we really got out of our comfort zone, it's not a joke. We were put on the spot to say, hey guys, on Monday, you guys gonna go face live on YouTube, and we all look at each other in panic, and we support each other on the decision and say, okay, we got to do this, guys. Let's move forward. Let's do it. Again, I feel though if we were not in the community and we were not working together, we would probably won't be where we at today. It had to do with the support from each other and the support that we getting from everyone. And those words like Eric and Gabriela, that pushes. So thank you guys for supporting us and be part of this community. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate that, and we continue to pray that all this information that we providing is helping someone. That that someone picks up something, because sometimes in the back of our mind we're like, are people listening? Are they actually listening? And it creates that that second guessing. That's when that noise starts, that low standard mental thoughts are coming in. So when we're thinking about that, when we're second guessing ourselves now, but we try to block all that, just like we need to block everything that comes into, during the day, because there are so many things that we get bombarded with of negative information that we have two choices: either accept it and receive it, or push it away and then just continue focusing on the goal that you have at hand.
Yeah, I call it kill the ants. That's a term
What
that
is
I
it?
use at home.
Kill the
The
ants?
ants are thoughts that come into your
Ah.
head sometimes that had nothing to
Nothing
do. And I know I'm pretty sure a lot of us realtor will multitask and we do so many things at the same time. So
Yes.
I call it kill the ants. Kill the ants means this thought come through my head and the market's going to crash. I already heard that in the news. That's just a thought. Doesn't mean it's true. Kill that thought and replace it. Wait, hold on. There's agents out there killing it. There's agents out there making tons of money. So let me find out little steps that I can be able to be there. And also go ahead and break that bad pattern. Maybe we have it's spending too much time in one area and out of the other. It's a balance wheel. And be able to sit down and, like I said, it works so good. I would love for everyone on this call to do two things this week. Is one, work on your calendar. Go through your calendar and see where you're spending time, where you're not spending time. If you don't have a calendar, just create one.
Francisco, dame unos minutitos, tengo una junta, te marco para
Create
atrás.
one as soon as possible. That's number one. Number two, being able to hold yourself accountable. And if you need somebody, just reach out to one of us and we will be super happy to assist you.
Or if not, if anything, also, I mean, if the calendars, because sometimes it can be overwhelming, the calendar, or just focus on one action this week that's gonna give you 1% progress forward.
Baby steps.
What is that one action that you can do today that's gonna move the needle? What is that one action that's gonna help you move that needle towards your goals? And if you sit down, you're like, okay, I don't know what's the action because I don't know what my goals are. So you already know what I have to do. What are my goals? Say your goals. It's so important. This is constantly repeating all the time, because a lot of the Mindset Mondays is very, I don't want to say they're similar. Everybody has a different story, but the concept tends out to be the same. Purpose, goals, purpose and goals. That way we understand where we're headed. And then what is that one action if we're struggling with certain actions? What is that one action that I can do today that's going to help me move the needle? You can put a million things on your task list, on your to-do list, but not everything is the same. Not everything is going to move the needle to you need to be at. Sometimes we have to come to a realization that sometimes we're just busy just to be busy, and those things that we think that we're busy are not actually moving the needle to where we need to be at. And we have to come to that realization, and we have to really push and really ask those hard questions. What is that one thing I need to do today that's going to help move the needle to my goals?
You have a business plan, Cesar. I think that's super important. When you have a business plan, know your numbers, know how many calls you need to make in order to get a lead out of that, and how many times you need to touch out with that lead to get it into a transaction. That's one of the things that we do, especially myself, when I have a new agent, we sit down, we go over. I try not to overwhelm it. I say, okay, one of the action is to attend to a training, which is, I feel that we need to keep pouring into ourselves every single day. And number two, start with, like we said from the beginning, small action. But you can make 5 calls, just make 1 call a day.
Yeah.
Start with something. And that's all I want to leave you guys with.
Baby
I want
steps.
to add to that, if you need help with that Atomic Habits, the book, that book, like really, really, really helped me.
Atomic Habits. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good book.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yes.
It's a really good book.
I
That's
mean,
the book of the month for all of us, Atomic Habits. It's an amazing book.
and
I
what-
have read it like 3 or 4 times and I love it.
Yeah.
and what Priscilla just said, it's one step at a time. Baby steps. I'm a big believer in that. And especially when I have a new agents that come on to me and they ask me questions, it's just baby steps, one at a time. Keep pushing yourself, and whatever that you do is just one baby steps. Because if you would just want to run instead of crawling and walking, and you just want to take off, you're gonna fall. And that happens all the time. And baby steps is very important, especially for new agents. Just take it one at a time. Like you said, Priscilla, 1 call, not 10 or 12 calls. No,
Yeah.
just 1, the next one, next week, 2 or 3, the following, you keep going and raising your bar. And I think that baby steps is going to take you further.
To be able to
Amen,
build up.
amen, amen.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
as we finish today our call, that way everybody can get to their day. You know, I want to say basically that your life and your business will always reflect the standards that you choose to live by. Because the thing is that the circumstances are going to change, markets are going to change, you're going to have challenges, but the standards that you set for yourself will anchor you and keep you grounded in the moments that are tough for you to continue pushing forward. That is why it's so important that we set these standards, because that's what's going to hold you. And having the purpose of having the goal that you want to accomplish is another big one there, because it's going to hold you accountable to your standards or the responsibilities that you have. Understanding the purpose, because that's what's going to help you push you when things are not going the way you expect, because not everything goes the way we expect it, but we need to have a clear purpose and a why. That way we can anchor ourselves with that. So that's why this week I want everyone to really evaluate and reflect. Okay, am I living? Are my standards reflecting the life or the person that I want to be? If not, then okay, what I have to do? What are the changes that I have to do? These are the key questions that you can ask yourself. What are the key things I need to do to reflect that level that I want to be at? What is the things that I have to do to reflect the parent that I want to be, or the agent that I want to be? What are those key things? And if you really are true to yourself and not play the victim, then you can have true answers for that. And really you can have change and transformation when you start telling yourself the truth instead of giving you lies, feeding yourself lies, basically. Because we do all that. I do that myself sometimes. When we do that. So that's not a good thing for us to be doing. So we really need to understand the level of where we want to be at. That way we can then start asking those right questions, quality questions, so we can then move the needle forward.
Also,
That's true. And I will leave you with check yourself daily. You know, yes, we have the vision board, we have the big picture. Check yourself daily at the end of the day and ask yourself, did I give out my best today? And if it was not your best, try the next day, but don't give up. This is an amazing business. We can make really great living. And what a business where you can set up your own schedule. What a business where you can set up your own standards. And a business where you can set up your own goals and make and create, you know, family legacy. So there's no all the career out there that you can do all that. So, and again, we here as a family, this is why we have this amazing calls every Monday to be able to help you, motivate you, keep you on track, guys. So thank you so much for joining us.
amen.
Don't forget that we meeting on the 25th at El Ardona. Everyone is invited. It's going to be a big event, the expo. So we're going to share more details with all you guys. But thank you so much for being here today. And we see you
Bye.
Friday
Happy
on our
Monday.
Leadership Friday call. So please don't miss it.